My mom means so much to me. Just being there for me, taking me to the ballpark every day when I was a kid, and obviously have a newfound respect for my wife being a first-time mom.
Happy Mother's Day from all of us here with the Diamondbacks in Fox Sports Arizona. Sunday D-backs baseball brought to you by Sanderson Ford. And just an absolutely beautiful day for baseball home in Arizona. And inside Chase Field, a big Mother's Day crowd is here with us. Ballpark players, coaches with pink bats, wristbands, shoelaces, bases, you name it. It's D-backs baseball on Fox Sports Arizona. And good afternoon from Chase Field. Welcome to the broadcast. Steve Berthew, Bob Brenly along the way, and a very happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there in D-backs Nation. It's the series finale here, the Diamondbacks and the Padres, and we had a bit of a Mother's Day mystery here, Bob. Game 30 on the year, and the Diamondbacks have had some injuries in the rotation, a couple of rainouts in Denver, so the rotation a little mixed up right now. We didn't know when we left the ballpark here last night who would start the game today for the Diamondbacks.
A huge question mark for the Diamondbacks, who was going to take the ball, but now we know today's starting pitcher on Mother's Day will be Daniel Hudson. 58 career starts, including 33 back in that 2011 season. He logged over 220 innings, won 16 games. Obviously been pitching out of the bullpen lately, hoping to get 50 or 60 pitches out of Daniel today.
His first major league start in nearly 3 years, and it's up against the Padres' Andrew Cashner in the series finale on Mother's Day here at Chase Field. The last game of the series, Diamondbacks trying to manage a 4-game split. We'll have the first pitch coming up. It's D-backs baseball on Mother's Day here on Fox Sports Arizona. Twist to our Diamondbacks Subway Kids Take the Field promotion. They're out there today with their moms as we are set to honor America. Here now, the voice of Chase Field, Mr. Chuck Drago.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please rise and please remove your hats. Please direct your attention to the field as we honor the United States of America and pay tribute to our veterans, active duty, and retired men and women of our armed services. The Arizona Diamondbacks and the San Diego Padres invite you to join in the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner, performed by Melissa Scambalori.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the Rockies' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Season leading the National League in runs scored, averaging nearly 5 runs per game. Only the Blue Jays and the Royals have scored more runs this season than the San Diego Padres. So a big day for Daniel Hudson out there on the mound. He is our Arizona fourth starting pitcher, the 28-year-old right-hander. Daniel has worked in relief following 2 Tommy John surgeries, but today a spot start, his first in the big leagues in almost 3 years. Here's D-back skipper Chip Hale.
We are going to have him go hopefully 50, possibly 60 pitches. The mixing pitches thing, he's tried to do that as a reliever, and maybe the more length he has here, he will be able to work it in. But he has to be confident in the breaking ball. You know, the fastball changeup's been his bread and butter, and you know he's working on the breaking balls.
Daniel Hudson, he's appeared in 9 games this year, all in relief. 11 2/3 innings, 13 hits allowed. He has walked 3 and struck out 7. Corey Spangenberg, the leadoff man for the Padres, fouls that one away, and Daniel is even a ball and a strike.
Seems appropriate that he's making his first start since that first Tommy John surgery against the Padres. He's 5-1 with a 1.85 ERA lifetime against San Diego.
It was June 26, 2012, the last time Daniel Hudson started a game on a major league mound. That day in Atlanta, he left in the 2nd inning with a torn UCL ligament on his way to what turned out to be the first of 2 Tommy John surgeries. And it was a long road back for Daniel until he finally returned to a major league mound in relief last September, coincidentally against these Padres at Petco Park. His career numbers there as a starting pitcher.
Great changeup right there from Daniel Hudson. We heard his skipper talking about his secondary pitches and trying to mix in some more breaking balls. Basically just fastballs out of the bullpen, mid to upper 90s on that heater.
And he strikes out Spangenberg to start the ball game. Good start for Daniel Hudson.
Back-to-back changeups from Daniel Hudson to retire the Padres leadoff hitter. Good movement down and away. Spangenberg has been red hot in this series. Rarely swings at a bad pitch, but was fooled that time. Here's how the Diamondbacks will line him up defensively behind Daniel Hudson. Peralta in left, Pollock in center, Trumbo in right. Aaron Hill and Nick Ahmed on the left side of the infield. Cliff Pennington and Paul Goldschmidt on the right side, with Tuppy Goswitch doing the catching for Daniel Hudson.
Well, look at our mid-first bank starting defense for the Diamondbacks. 95 right by the switch hitting Abraham Almonte, getting the start in right field for the Padres. Matt Kemp is off today. Almonte just called up yesterday, taking the roster spot of Yonder Alonso, who's on the DL with a right shoulder bruise. Almonte was hitting well, 26 games with AAA El Paso, 308 and 4 homers. He was leading the Pacific Coast League in runs scored. Joe's bunt again. Aaron Hill keeps creeping in from his spot at third base, but Hudson's ahead of ball and 2 strikes. Ring him up and set him down. 2 batters, 2 strikeouts for D. Huddy.
And the good news is it's only taken him 9 pitches to get those 2 strikeouts inside part of the plate.
A lineup for Bud Black, San Diego Padres.
Spangenberg and Almonte at the top, both strikeout victims. Will Myers making his way to the plate right now. He's at first base. Justin Upton in left. Will Venable in center. Jed Jerko getting a start at second base with Alexi Amarista at short. Austin Hedges doing the catching, and Andrew Kashner, the right-hander, on the mound.
And here is Myers at 298 with 5 homers. There's strike 1 from Daniel Hudson. Myers has been a great success in the leadoff spot this year. No player in baseball has had more at-bats or scored more runs than Will Myers, but he's batting third this afternoon. Matt Kemp the day off, so Myers drops down in the order. And Hudson's ahead 0-2. This is away, a ball and 2 strikes. Myers, despite going hitless in the D-backs win Thursday night, has had a big series. 7 hits in 14 at bats, including 3 doubles and a home run. 2-2. To Aaron Hill. Backhand scoop by Goldie. Daniel Hudson, welcome back. A 1-2-3 first. We are underway on Mother's Day in downtown Phoenix. hoping to reverse that trend in today's series finale. It's a Padres rotation leading the major leagues in strikeouts. And their man on the mound today has already recorded a 9-strikeout and a 10-strikeout game this year. Your Arizona Ford starting pitcher for the Padres, 28-year-old right-hander. It's Andrew Cashner. Here's D-backs hitting coach Turner Ward.
Cashner is a guy we've got a lot of, I shouldn't say success. He's pitched us well, but we got a lot of history with him also. So, we know what the look with that guy. We know what we're trying to do with him, and with that history, we want to try to use that history to our advantage.
A.J. Pollock leads it off against Cashner, and that one is headed for the seats. This is Andrew Cashner's 7th start this year. No pitcher in baseball has lost more games this season, a record that seems very unreasonable considering his respectable 3.16 ERA. He leads the majors, Bob, with 10 unearned runs allowed this year.
It's hard to explain sometimes why the defense doesn't make plays behind a certain pitcher. Cashner has great stuff out there on the mound. By all reports, a tremendous competitor, but for whatever reason, defense seems to let him down quite a bit.
A.J. Pollock, 299 with a pair of home runs. I hear one umpire screaming foul ball from third base. That's Greg Gibson, who has overruled plate umpire Marvin Hudson. Gibson says, I got it. He's yelling into the Padre dugout to Bud Black. You'll see Gibson down at third immediately call that foul.
Well, Marvin Hudson, the home plate umpire, sitting behind Austin Hedges, the catcher, probably didn't get a real good look at that, but clearly hit A.J. right there on the hip. Greg Gibson, the third base umpire, had a better angle and overruled the call.
2-2 misses, and it's full on A.J. Pollock. 3 balls and 2 strikes. A.J. 3 hits in 12 at bats in this series, including a home run in Friday's game.
Not only has Cashner not gotten a lot of defensive help from his teammates, he has very little offensive help. In his last 3 starts, only 1 run scored while he was in the game, even though he pitched into the 7th inning all 3 starts.
They have been shut out twice in his last 3 starts. There's the arsenal, and he's a high velocity guy, both with the 2-seam and the 4-seam. Bounce to second. Chet Jerko throws him out. 1 away. The lineup for Chip Hale's Arizona Diamondbacks.
A.J. Pollock out in center field, leading off. Mark Trumbo in that 2 spot again. Paul Goldschmidt batting third. David Peralta in left field batting fourth. Aaron Hill at third base today. Cliff Pennington at second base. Tuffy Gosewich doing the catching with Nick Ahmed at short. And right-hander Daniel Hudson on the mound.
What a day for a ball game here on Mother's Day at Chase Field. Glad you're with us here on Fox Sports Arizona. Mark Trumbo with the pink baseball bat. You'll see a lot of that today. And Mark hitting .289, 4 homers and 15 RBIs.
Well, I got to applaud our fans here at Chase Field during this homestand so far. We've seen some tremendous plays.
I have to print up a whole bunch of new contracts.
They've obviously been working hard on their defensive fundamentals when we go on the road trips.
Just had a great catch by a fan up and above to our right here. Cashner ahead of Trumbo, 0-2. First D-backs game on Mom's Day. What a day for us.
Start them early.
Nice. Got the date on there and everything. That's a nice job. There's a smile. One and 2 on Mark Trumbo. Mark struck out in a pinch hit appearance last night. Reaches down and knocks that into the seats. He was 0 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts Friday, but in Thursday's series opener had a big night, a double and a home run. .98, this guy can bring the gas. Andrew Cashner throws really hard out there. 2 kinds of fastballs, the 4-seam and the sinking 2-seam, as most guys do these days, but What makes Cashner so interesting, he throws both types of fastballs at about the same speed, really hard, 96 this year. And usually that two-seamer, the sinker, comes in several miles an hour slower because it's got that sinking action to it, tailing in or away from hitters to get the ground ball. But Cashner's two-seamer just as hard as the four-seam.
And in a way, it's still a work in progress for Cashner, even though he has a very good two-seamer.
Rumbo reaches down, but lines it to Jerko. 2 outs.
Throughout his minor league career with the Chicago Cubs, he was just a blazing four-seam fastball and a slider that needed a lot of work. The slider has come a long way. The changeup is a good secondary pitch for him, but that two-seamer is the pitch that he's really worked hard on the last couple of years.
And because it comes in at 96, just like the four-seamer, the result is the sinking action, not quite as pronounced as you usually see with some other guys. 2 outs for Goldie. Ball one, Paul Goldschmidt, 4th in the National League in hitting, now at .355. His OPS 2nd in the league, only to Adrian Gonzalez. Outfield alignment for the Padres. Look at the middle of your screen there. The center fielder, Will Venable, way over toward the pool in right center field.
That's about as far as we've seen anybody shift on Goldie to the opposite field. It's not uncommon for that center fielder to play a few steps on the right field side of center field, but Venable's way over there.
He's over there in the gap. Husband and wife here with us at the ballpark. That's a nice seat up there too. Good view. 2-2. Beautiful day here at the ballpark. Goldie last night on base 5 times. He had 4 walks and a single. That one's bounced in the dirt. It's full 3-2. He has hit safely in 4 straight games, 7 hits over that span, including 3 home runs. And he has homered in his career off Andrew Cashner. David Peralta would be next. 2 outs, 3 balls, 2 strikes. And Cashner gets his first strikeout today. We are through one on Mother's Day at Chase Field. The D-backs and the Padres, no score.
Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day, especially to my mom. Love you, Mom. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. You guys are why we're here. You've raised us so well. Thanks so much, Lizzie, my wife, for everything you are as a mother, and thank you so much, Ann, for being my mom. You're amazing. I love you guys.
Aaron Hill, those are some of the Mother's Day messages from the Diamondbacks players playing on the DBTV board here in the ballpark. Justin Upton leads off the San Diego second, chases a high heater from Daniel Hudson. Upton 287 now, 8 home runs. He had the big one last night in extra innings.
Now that is a fashion statement there on that right arm of Justin Upton. Look at that.
There's pink, and then there's next level. He's got the bat, the gloves, the sleeves, the whole thing, the shoes.
Yeah, he was wearing the camo gloves in the first 3 games of this series, but breaking out the Mother's Day pink ones today.
Well, Upton with 3 hits in this series, including a double and a home run. His homer in extra innings last night off Randall Delgado was the hit that gave the Padres the lead for good. Second time this season Upton homered off Delgado late in the ball game with what proved to be the go-ahead run. 2-2. This was Justin Upton last night against Randall Delgado.
Real good low ball hitter. Justin Upton has always had that lift in his swing, and pitches down there around the knees. He's able to elevate and hit him a long way.
That led off the 12th inning, made it 5-4 Padres. They went on for the 6-4 win. And the Diamondbacks trying to salvage the finale here and get a split. And 6 games versus the Diamondbacks this year. Upton 3 homers and 5 RBIs. Got him. Tuffy Gozawish hangs on. 3rd strikeout for Daniel Hudson. 1 down in the second.
Hudson just challenging, especially up in the zone with that fastball against Justin Upton. Foul tip right into the mid of Tuffy Gozawish. Let's take a look at our Valley Honda keys to the game on this gorgeous Mother's Day here at Chase Field. Of course, call your mom. She's sitting by the phone. Let's go.
I just did about a half hour ago.
And all the guys on the field, they have one goal today: make mom proud.
Broken bat. Nick Ahmed broke toward the second base bag. The ball had a ton of spin off it coming off the broken bat of Venable, and it just sort of curved into left field. It's a base hit for Venable.
That was one of the odder looking plays. I think Nick broke where the bat went rather than where the ball went. Certainly easy to see how you could do that as a defender.
So a 1-out base runner now for Jed Jerko. Need more seeds. Jerko hitting just under 200 with 1 homer. Checked into last night's ball game late, had a couple of hits, including a double. His bat has started to come around as of late. You know what else you can do for your mom, BB? Make breakfast.
Yeah, absolutely.
A mom and a daughter getting some omelets here at the ballpark. She doesn't seem quite as interested, though, as Mom does.
Man, that looks good.
See, we need a staff like that. You and I, we got one guy up here. He's highly unreliable. We need a staff.
Sunday morning omelets in the back of the booth. That'd be nice.
I'm just saying. To talk to Scott Geyer about that. Oh, and 1 to Jerko. 0-2. All kinds of dining options here at the ballpark. Mom has her choice here today, that's for sure.
I'll take a little bit of the New York.
0-2.
Good idea to keep an eye on Will Venable over there. The Padres have been extraordinarily aggressive in this series, stealing bases and taking jumping leads over there at first base. 3 steals in the game last night. They were caught a couple times the day before, but Bud Black has turned some of his better runners loose on the bases in this series.
Even when they don't go, they get big secondary leads and it's kind of jump up and down. It's like they're doing calisthenics over there. Very distracting. Jose Valentin coaching at first. A ball and 2 strikes on Jed Jerko. It's in there. Called strike 3. 4 strikeouts for Daniel Hudson. And he's already halfway to that 50 pitch or so idea that they have for him today in terms of the pitch count. You heard Chip Hale talk about that at the beginning of the ball game. Alexi Amarista. Chip Hale said Daniel Hudson could go 50, possibly 60 pitches. They want to keep him healthy. That always is priority one with Daniel. And Chip said the idea here today gives Daniel a chance to lengthen out a little bit and then get 2 or 3 days off coming up. Amarista shoots it into left. Peralta's there, and Hudson strands the one-out single. He's got 4 strikeouts, no score at Chase Field. Our T-Mobile game-changing player last 10 games. Look at these numbers for David Peralta, BB. The bat has really come alive.
Yeah, a lot of guys have come alive over the last 10 games, but David Peralta kind of leading the parade, and once again shows bunt with the exaggerated pull shift employed by the Padres. We've seen David do that a number of times.
3 infielders on the right-hand side. It's a fly ball. Almonte has room. Well, Chuck Drago's mom, Judy, is doing the PA here in the second inning. Here she is.
Now batting, third baseman, Aaron Hill.
Nailed it.
Better watch your P's and Q's over there, Chuck. Got a pinch hitter for you if you call in sick one day.
Well, Judy will have to bring donuts like Chuck does every Sunday
absolutely.
Morning. Nice job there, Judy. Aaron Hill sends it out to left field, and that ball is gone. A home run. We'll score that one for Judy Drago. The third for Hill, and it's 1-0 Diamondbacks.
Starting to heat up as well with the long ball, getting a little lift on that swing. Upton tries to climb the wall out there, but Aaron got enough of it to put the D-backs on the board with an early 1-0 lead.
That's Aaron's third home run in his last 11 games. He's got 7 RBIs over that span. His bat really heating up lately. Strike 1 to Cliff Pennington getting the start at second base.
7th home run. Cashner has surrendered. This is 7th start of the season. A guy that relies so heavily on a fastball, he's probably going to give up more home runs than most.
He's ahead of Pennington 0-2. Cliff in there at 214 on the year. He's 0 for 4 in the series. The ABs have been hard to come by for Cliff. Just 17 plate appearances over his last 11 games. Just 2 starts.
When you're the super utility guy, a lot of your playing time depends on how the guys in front of you are playing. And as we mentioned, Aaron Hill's been heating it up with the bat. Yasmani Tomas has come up with some big base hits. Chip Hale has tried to mix Penny in there wherever he can, but because of his versatility and the fact he's a switch hitter, he's a nice weapon to have on the bench also.
He strikes out.
Hedges.
I think Cliff thought maybe that Hedges behind him dropped it, but the Padres started throwing it around the infield. Second strikeout for Cashner, 2 down. Here's Tuffy.
Well, he does the right thing if you're not sure. Yeah, Hedges just got underneath that ball, kept it out of the dirt.
Austin Hedges, their top catching prospect. Certainly defensively, maybe in the minor leagues, getting the start behind the plate today. Just got called up last week. Here's the Diamondbacks catcher, Tuffy Gozawish. There's a strike in 95, 0-1. Tuffy 225 with 9 RBIs. Hitless in a pinch hit appearance last night. Cashner's ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. Sun Devils in the house. Got an ASU Sun Devil up there at the plate. And he blows Tuffy away on 3 pitches, 3 strikeouts for Cashner, but the Diamondbacks on the Aaron Hill homer take a 1-0 lead. Ball on Fox Sports Arizona is brought to you in part by Yancey's Fancy, New York's finest artisan cheese, and by Chaz Roberts Air Conditioning and Plumbing. Choose Chaz. Making those pink bats. Breast cancer awareness. Major League Baseball, a big initiative on Mother's Day every year. Pink all over the ballpark here. The Diamondbacks lead the Padres 1-0. And we start the 3rd inning. Here's the San Diego catcher Austin Hedges against Daniel Hudson. And so far has struck out 4 through 2 innings, and he's ahead 0-1. Hedges 1 for 6 to begin his big league career. Made his first ever start Wednesday at San Francisco, struck out twice, had a 2-run single, and he's back behind the plate this afternoon. And Hedges, for the last several seasons, has been regarded as one of the minor league's top defensive catching prospects, a guy that new GM A.J. Preller made a point to hang on to when he was acquiring all those new veterans this winter and trading away some of their prospects. But they were keeping this guy. They really like him behind the plate that is on the ground in front of Ahmed, and he throws a Knox.
Insert number 34, Andrew Cashner.
Boy, efficiency is key here, Bob, for Daniel Hudson, on a 50 to 60 pitch limit. And even with the 4 strikeouts, the pitch count is very reasonable. 29 pitches, 19 for strikes. Andrew Cashner. Appropriate that Andrew Cashner gets this Mother's Day start. His mom, Jane, has been very ill. She was 10 years cancer free after battling breast cancer, but last fall was diagnosed with leukemia. Andrew says he'll be pitching to put a smile on her face today. In March, Jane took a bad fall at their family home in Texas. Had to go into intensive care with a fever that created some kidney trouble. She went into shock, developed E. coli infection, and her right leg had to be amputated. Andrew was in Peoria with the Padres during spring training, and in between starts he was flying home to Texas to visit. Jane is a big Padres fan. She watches every game, even when Andrew is not pitching. And she was just recently, we're happy to report, released from the hospital just a couple of weeks ago. And she is back home and doing well.
That's good to hear.
And Andrew and his sister have recently founded the Cashner Family Foundation. Pops up that one. Aaron Hill is under it. The Cashner Family Foundation, with the slogan "Pitching for a Cause." The goal is to provide help to hospitals and communities to support children who go through difficult family events like the ones that the Cashners have been through. And if you'd like to learn more, we invite you to visit their new website, CashnerFoundation.org. Leadoff man Corey Spangenberg struck out his first time. Spangenberg in the leadoff spot. Will Myers bats third, a day off for Matt Kemp, so Myers drops down in the order. But Spangenberg, you mentioned this yesterday, Bob, I think it was. He's a good fit for this role. Hit nearly 300 in the minor leagues, and in parts of 4 seasons in the San Diego system, stole over 100 bases. But this is just his 10th career big league start as the leadoff man. Good contact guy, good base runner. He's got some speed. And he's got the pink shoes here on Mother's Day.
A real good eye at the plate a couple nights ago. 4 walks to go along with the triple. He scored 2 times in the Padres' 6-5 victory.
Spangenberg benefiting from some slumping bats in the Padre lineup. Despite all the runs they've been scoring, they have had some guys who have scuffled. Jed Jerko was one. And second base for much of this year has become a platoon situation, with Yangervis Solarte playing a lot of the time against right-hand pitchers. But with Will Middlebrooks not hitting, Solarte has been seeing time at third. And Jerko's slumping, so Spangenberg and that left-hand bat getting some action at second base. It looks like they're starting to get Jerko to come around a little bit offensively. Middlebrooks is still got a ways to go, it looks like. 2-2.
And it's hard to get right at the major league level, especially when backup players are swinging the bats well, getting on base, making things happen. Not uncommon for guys to get shipped back to the minor leagues to get their swing right so they can be a productive member back at the big league level.
Daniel Hudson is through 3 innings. He's got 5 strikeouts and a 1-0 lead here at Chase Field. fans, it's not too early to start thinking about Dad's big day, Father's Day, Sunday, June 21st. And the D-backs take on the same Padres right here at Chase Field. You can get him the gift he really wants, tickets to the Diamondbacks game. You can get them online right now at dbacks.com. Saw some of the Diamondback dads horsing around with the kids before the ball game today here on Mom's Day.
I brought the kids to the ballpark so Mom could sleep in.
Look, Pennington had his little ones running around out there. Nick Ahmed leads off the Diamondback third against Andrew Cashner. Nick batting 137 on the year.
Obviously, the numbers offensively not there for Nick Ahmed, but you look at that glove at shortstop, and he is all over the leaderboards in whatever metric you want to look at. Some of the newer ones, total zone rating, defensive runs saved, old school fielding percentage. He's in the top 3 in all of those categories defensively. He can really pick it.
He is so solid and steady, makes every play. 1-2. You know, we haven't seen from Nick. It's interesting, Bob. You know, Didi always made the flashy, diving, crazy plays. Nick always seems to be in the right spot, so he doesn't have those highlight reel plays, it seems. He's just really, really good because he's in the right spot most of the time, it seems.
Well, he makes that play coming in where you have to glove the ball and get rid of it quickly on the run. He makes that play as good as any shortstop I've ever seen. Good swing that time, and 137 batting average notwithstanding, Nick has hit some balls hard right at people lately, so it looks like he's about to bust out if he can start to find some holes.
Two and two. Pops it up behind the second base bag. Amarista's out there. Let's take a look at the Padres defensively around Andrew Cashner. Their mid-first bag starting defense.
Outfield will be comprised of Upton in left, Venable in center, Almonte in right field, Spangenberg at third, Amarista at short, Jerko at second, Will Myers over at first base with the youngster Austin Hedges doing the catching for right-hander Andrew Cashner.
And a day off for Matt Kemp today, so Abraham Almonte, just up for the minor leagues this weekend, starts in right field. Ball one to Daniel Hudson. Roofing panels open here on a perfect Mother's Day afternoon in the Valley.
Anytime the D-backs score 5 runs or more, Taco Bell is giving away 3 free tacos with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the following day at participating locations.
Now, Daniel Hudson insists that he's a great hitter. I mean, he likes to tweet about his base hits. Of course, doesn't get those chances now. He's been away from the game for a couple of years, and now he's a relief pitcher. So, but when he was a starter, and you can see right there, he's about a .230 career hitter. I just can't quite get that one. That bit him a bit back there. And Hudson stays alive with a 1-2 count.
Well, we've seen this throughout the series. Derek Norris, their regular starting catcher. Look at the bare hand just hanging out there. With nobody on base, you know, for a long time catchers had to catch two-handed because the glove was just like a big donut. It didn't have a hinge at the heel of the glove, but these catcher's mitts nowadays are like using a first baseman's mitt. Get the bare hand out of there with nobody on base.
Well, one of the things we've always heard about Austin Hedges is he's such a great defender back there. Bob, people talk about the same thing with Oscar Hernandez, Yadier Molina, some guys, the way they receive the ball. And there's the strikeout. Is it just a very quiet glove? They don't snatch at it? What's the difference with some guys versus other guys?
A lot of guys want to reach out and get full extension on their left arm when they receive pitches, and that causes your tension in the forearm, tension in the biceps muscle, and everything is very stiff. The softer you can be with your elbow and your wrist and your hand inside that mitt, the better you're going to make borderline pitches look.
Because you think, well, he's a catcher, of course he receives the ball well. That's what he's supposed to be doing, but some guys just seem to have that extra little soft touch back there.
And they know when to reach out and catch a ball before it breaks out of the zone.
AJ gets it in the air to left field. Upton's at the wall, and that ball is gone. A home run. AJ Pollock his third. 2 home runs off Cashner today. It's 2-0 Diamondbacks. A.J.'s second home run in this series.
And the Diamondbacks continue to hit for extra bases. In their first 19 games this season, they only had 40 extra base hits. They've had 44 in their last 10 games.
Did this guy reach over? Let's make. No, he's good. Nice catch by the fan out there. Cashner's now given up 8 home runs on the year.
And the biggest of extra base hits, home runs, first 19 games. Diamondbacks had 11. In the last 10 games, they've had 16.
0-1 on Trumbo. Well, Andrew Cashner, you might remember, had his first start of the year at Dodger Stadium. And in that ball game, he gave up 3 home runs to Adrian Gonzalez. That was the 3rd game of the year. And since then, he's pitched pretty well. He's given up a total of just 3 homers in his previous 5 starts. But 2 solo shots here through 2 2/3.
I'm sure everybody saw highlights of that opening day start against the Dodgers, and all 3 of those pitches that Adrian Gonzalez hit out of the ballpark were right down the middle on a tee. Command just wasn't as sharp as it needed to be in that start against the Dodgers opening day.
Roll to second. Jerko's there. And that's the end of the inning. But the Diamondbacks get their second home run of the ball game. Aaron Hill in the second, and now A.J. Pollock in the third. And they have a 2-0 lead on Mother's Day. Has had the strikeout pitch working so far. He's given up just 1 hit, an infield single. He's got 5 strikeouts.
Yeah, I think one of them came on a straight changeup. The rest, actually 2 came on changeups. The other 3 on fastballs, and a couple of looking strikeouts. A little better zip on that fastball than the Padres are expecting.
And Abraham Almonte leads off the San Diego 4th. D-backs lead at 2-0. Solo homers by Aaron Hill and A.J. Pollock. Daniel Hudson did make 3 starts during spring training this year. 5 appearances, 3 starts. His numbers so far here today. So it's not a totally new role this year. In 3 spring training starts, he didn't go very deep into games, mostly, well, it's spring training. 2 innings in his first start, that was March the 8th. And then 3 innings and 3 2/3 in starts March 23rd and 29th. And midway through spring training, as they said they would, the D-backs coaches and staff got together with Daniel Hudson to see where they were going with his progress, and everybody was very pleased. But there was a feeling the command wasn't quite where they wanted it as Almonte grounds out. And so he's been working out of the bullpen with the innings restrictions. Let's go downstairs to Jody.
Well, guys, I had a conversation with General Manager Dave Stewart before they made the decision on the start in Colorado, which went to Robbie Ray. But he said that Daniel Hudson was in consideration. It surprised me a little bit. He said, you know what, I was a reliever for parts of 6 seasons. He said it's very tough. He really seemed curious what Daniel would be able to do with a start. Now, obviously, you're talking about a guy coming off 2 Tommy John surgeries, so it's a little bit different. But I don't think the future has been decided on Daniel Hudson, as you guys just discussed. So obviously he'd have to lengthen out. But one thing that Dave Stewart wanted to see is what Chip Hale talked about. Can he mix his pitchers a little bit better as a starter rather than a reliever?
J.C. Ramirez just called up from Reno. Danny Dorn was sent down after his big hit last night. But they needed another arm back there with Huddy on a very strict pitch limit today. So Ramirez is warming up in the Diamondback bullpen. 0-1 on Will Myers. And given Daniel's innings restrictions this season, even if he does start, they'll have to be very stingy with his pitches every time out just to get through 5 and not wear out the bullpen behind him. And so at least for now it was decided the best fit for both Daniel and the Diamondbacks was to work out of the bullpen at least for the first half of the season, and then they'll have the discussion again about midseason or so.
And Chip told us 50 to 60 pitches today for Daniel, depending on his effectiveness. He'd really love to get him through 5 with a lead just to give him an opportunity to possibly win this start, but that's secondary to winning the game.
Well, it all depends maybe on how this 4th inning goes. He's got to be pretty efficient here, and he's behind on Will Myers 3-1. So you're counting every pitch at this point. 3-1 to Myers. Upton's on deck. And Huddy said late this spring, it's no big secret, he does want to get back to being in the rotation at some point. Whether that's this year, next year, whenever it may be, it's fine with him. He's really just happy to be back out there on the mound after all he's been through. And his immediate goal, just keep going from there, keep progressing. And so far so good now at exactly 50 pitches, 29 for strikes.
I would imagine in Daniel's case, after 2 Tommy John surgeries, you never look too far into the future.
You bet.
Take every appearance, every possible start, and try to take full advantage of it.
Well, he loses Myers, a 1-out walk in the 4th. First walk issued by Huddy here today. That brings up Justin Upton. And now the whole infield will gather and slow things down a bit. Chip Hale said 50, possibly 60 pitches. He's at 51 right now. Upton struck out against Daniel his first time up. He's 0 for 1. Noticed a lot of that from the Diamondback pitchers in this series. We've talked about the aggressive nature of the Padre base runners. The Diamondbacks are sort of countering that by that long set and just waiting until somebody calls timeout. There goes Myers. Upton knocks it into right. Myers can't find the ball. He's going back and forth at second base. And now he stumbles trying to get to third. And he's given up. Oh, they're calling obstruction maybe. Here comes Chip Hale. I think they called obstruction on the Diamondbacks infield. Myers could not find the baseball behind him. Take a look.
Doesn't know where the ball is. No contact made there. Yeah, slight contact made after he rounded the bag by Nick Ahmed, and immediately Will Myers pointed at it.
He ran into Nick Ahmed.
If I'm not mistaken, it's your responsibility as a fielder to get out of the way of the runner if you don't have the ball. And Nick tries to do that, but Myers was looking back over his right shoulder to see what was going on out in right field and turns and runs right into Nick Ahmed.
He takes a pretty wide turn there. Interference is always on the runner. Obstruction is on the fielder. Umpire judgment calls are not subject to review. And now all the umpires are huddling up. What did you have? What did you see? This is not a reviewable play. This is an umpire judgment call. And boy, it sure looked like Myers took a big wide turn into Nick Ahmed. He had no idea where the baseball was.
An odd-looking play. They ought to call him out just because he didn't know where the ball was. It appeared to be a hit and run. Maybe it was a straight steal. But he just didn't pick up the ball whatsoever. And by the time his coaches alerted him to where the ball was, yeah, he's just straight stealing that base. Heard contact but didn't know where it was. Sure how far out of the baseline you're allowed to go rounding a bag, but that's as far as I've ever seen anybody get out of the baseline.
You did see there right at the end of that play Nick Ahmed pleading his case. Look, I'm standing way out here. The guy ran right into me. This is a long discussion between the four umpires. You ever eavesdrop on one of these conversations?
Oh, of course not. They don't let you get close enough to hear what they're talking about.
It's a little bit of a long delay. It looks like Daniel Hudson is going to throw a pitch or two out there on the mound just to stay loose. More throwing than pitching at this point, and we're counting every pitch with Daniel. He's at 52 right now. That is as bizarre a running play as I've ever seen. Hit and run was on. Upton just knocked it right into right field. It worked out perfectly. Myers should have made third easily, but he had no idea where the baseball was. And ran into Nick Ahmed rounding second after he had retreated back toward the first base bag, fell over. And now he's standing at third base, and the discussion continues. It's a single for Upton. The question now is, where do you put Myers? What do you do with him? Marvin Hudson, Chad Fairchild, Greg Gibson, Jim Joyce of the crew chief. And again, this is an umpire judgment call, so it is not subject to review.
I think part of the discussion is, would Will Myers have made it to third base if there was no obstruction?
They're going to put him back at second.
I think maybe that was the major gist of that conversation, was would he have been able to make it to third base had he not made contact with Nick Ahmed?
Here's Bud Black, real speed now. He goes back to the bag at first, can't find the baseball, then spots it and runs right into Ahmed. And you can see Nick, look, I'm standing right here. The ball and the runner in the shot here.
You can see third base umpire
Greg Gibson over there. Yeah, he called obstruction right away.
One of him, yeah.
I mean, it was such a bonehead base running play. By all rights, he should be out. But we're not going to win that one. And Bud Black campaigning for Myers to get third base, but Jim Joyce is not having it. Here comes Mike Harkey out to the mound in the meantime to talk to Daniel Hudson.
it is also the technicalities within the rule book. It says if a play is being made on an obstructed runner and the contact is made, like we saw, the obstructed runner shall be awarded at least one base beyond the base he tagged.
I don't think there was a play being made on
But there was no play being made on Will Myers. So I think if you read between the lines, he should not be awarded an extra base because of the obstruction, because there was no play being made on him. And in the umpire's judgment, he would not have made it to third base.
Started to get a little heated there between Jim Joyce, the crew chief, who's the second base umpire, and Bud Black, but Black is in the dugout. Myers is at second, Upton's at first, one out, and Will Venable is the hitter. Venable had an infield single his first time up.
See, if that happens in the backyard or down at the park on the corner, you just have a do-over.
That's exactly right. Maybe we should write that in. Call the union. We've got replays. How about do-overs? Dave Roberts and Bud Black kind of upset that Myers was not awarded third base there. So the first pitch to Venable, we're back at it now, is a ball 1-0.
And that's a big 90 feet with only one out in the inning to get, for the Padres to get that runner to third base where he could be driven in without the benefit of a base hit.
You never know what you're going to see when you come out to the ballpark. Well, a long layoff there for Huddy, and he was really firing on all cylinders. 5 strikeouts through 3. He got Almonte on a quick ground ball to open up the fourth, but a walk to Myers, a single by Upton, that long delay in debate there. And now he's at 54 pitches. The crispness and the sharpness not quite there, it seems. He's behind on Venable 2-0, and Ramirez is ready to go in the Sanderson Ford bullpen. It's 3-0.
You never know what effect a delay will have on a pitcher. Sometimes guys need a little bit extra time to regroup, catch their breath, get their mind right before going to work on that next hit, or other guys want to stay in their rhythm. They don't want to stop.
A 4-pitch walk to Will Venable, and the Padres have the bases loaded with 1 out, and that's going to be it for Daniel Hudson. They brought J.C. Ramirez up here today from Reno to give them an extra arm back there, and they're going to need it. Hudson was terrific here today, though, and his day ends here in the fourth. Back after this.
Start in AAA, so we're excited to see him. He's going to have to pitch a couple innings too today, and he did well for us in spring training, so we know a lot about him. He's a power guy, and we're excited to see him.
And here he is, J.C. Ramirez, signed as a minor league free agent with the Diamondbacks last December. 26 years old. He's a big dude out there, 6'4", 250. He's been pitching at AAA Reno this year for Phil Nevin. 11 scoreless appearances, all in relief. 11 2/3 innings. He's given up just 4 hits, walked 4 5 strikeouts. He's in a bases loaded 1-out mess here. Myers at third, Upton at second, Venable at first. Opponents in Reno hit only 108 against Ramirez this season, and there's strike one to Jed Jerko.
Ramirez with some big league time with the Phillies back in the 2013 season, pitched in 18 games out of the bullpen. Struck out the side in his major league debut against the Mets in that 2013 season.
1-1 now to Jerko, who struck out looking against Daniel Hudson his first time up. Ramirez did not pitch in the big leagues last year. He split last season between AA and AAA in the Indians organization. And now here he is with the Diamondbacks. 95. Jerko chases 1-2. He's a power guy. You heard Chip Hale a moment ago. That was the power.
Jerko does him a little bit of a favor here, chasing a pitch up above the letters, probably off the plate inside as well.
From Managua, Nicaragua, J.C. Ramirez. He's been a Mariner, a Philly, an Indian, and now a Diamondback. In fact, he was part of the package that Seattle sent to Philadelphia before the 2010 season in the Cliff Lee deal. Two balls and 2 strikes, bases loaded, 1 out. He's a hard thrower, that's for sure. Diamondbacks like guys that miss bats in this division, and here's another one.
Well, that's really been the trend in Major League Baseball over the last 3 or 4 seasons. Rather than load up specialists in the bullpen, just get guys that throw real hard and miss bats. Righty lefty makes no difference.
2-2. Bounce that one. Nice block there by Tuffy, and it's full 3 balls and 2 strikes.
What's new? Right in the middle of the chest protector. The ball rolls right across home plate. Almost every time he blocks a pitch in the dirt, we see exactly the same thing.
Well, Ramirez knew he was going to have to pitch today, but this is not a soft landing. Bases loaded, 1 out, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here it is. Belted into the seats and out of play. She's fine. She's got the souvenir. You take it. You earned it. Another 3-2 pitch. Got him. Welcome to the Diamondbacks, J.C. Ramirez. 2 down.
Yeah, Jed Jerko gets a vote from the Diamondbacks for most valuable player in this game. He doesn't swing at a strike the whole at bat. Ends up chasing a fastball way off the plate away with the bases loaded.
And with 2 outs, he'll work to Alexi Amarista, who flied out his first time. Daniel Hudson responsible for all 3 base runners out there. 2 walks and a single. Amarista is 1 for 12 in the series. Couple of walks and RBIs. Padres with the bases full this year, just 3 for 17. Roll to second. Pennington is there, and J.C. Ramirez puts out the fire. He gets Huddy off the hook, and he keeps it a 2-0 Diamondback lead.
it's Mother's Day. Jody Jackson alongside a very special mother here in the crowd. This is Barbara Nickel, our honorary Batgirl today. Barbara, I know you're a cancer survivor, 10 years. Happy Mother's Day to you. How much does it mean to you to be here with your family today?
Thank you so much, and happy Mother's Day to you, too. This is a wonderful honor. My gosh, I can't believe that I was chosen after knowing how many wonderful women also were nominated. So, yeah, this has been a great experience. Just to come out and feel the support and the love, and to know I've met so many women already that have kind of stepped up and said, hey, I'm a survivor, and I do the 3-day walk, too. And so that's been great. And I think most of all to just kind of come out and have some fun and not have to think about all the things that you have to think about when you're, dealing with stuff, So, yeah, it's just a wonderful day.
You met Vivian over here, who's now next to you. So, but you talked about the 3-day, and you got through this disease, you beat it, and you went through that struggle. But then you felt the need to give back. Why did you feel that way, and what have you done to raise money?
Okay, well, first of all, I did it because I wanted to give back. So I thought I've got to. I guess my mom always said, "Don't cry about something, get up and do something about it." So rather than kind of worrying about things, I just decided I'd start training. I'd start, using that energy to something like seeing, can I do 60 miles? And so I trained, and it was great exercise. You kind of clear your mind. And then at the same time, you're raising money. We raised $2,500 just to be able to walk. That's the minimum, in order to be able to do the walk. So, and then I kind of found it such an exhilarating experience that I keep coming back every year, and so I'm hooked.
That's amazing. Well, enjoy the day with your family. I know your daughter Lindsay was instrumental in getting you nominated, and it's fantastic. I know you have the bat the guys were signing earlier, and it is fantastic. You were in the dugout earlier. Well, good luck at the next 3-day in Seattle.
Thank you so much, and thank you for stopping by and seeing us.
Glad to meet you. Barbara Nickel. We'll send it back to you guys.
Great job, Barbara. Thank you, Jody. Paul Goldschmidt pops out to Will Myers, and here's David Peralta in the Diamondback fourth. He flied out his first time. Andrew Kashner so far has given up just 2 hits, but both solo homers. Aaron Hill in the second, A.J. Pollock in the third. Peralta gets it in the air to center field. Venable back comes in now, and that's the second out.
I'm wondering if maybe that extended layoff in that last half inning might affect Andrew Kashner, but 2 quick outs here to start the fourth.
Aaron Hill with 1 out in the second got the scoring underway.
The first home run against Andrew Kashner by a right-handed hitter this year, later followed by A.J. Pollock's home run, the first 2 given up by Kashner to right-handed hitters. All the other home runs, the 6 before today, came to left-handed hitters.
A home run, the 3rd of the season for Aaron. His batting average is moving up the charts. He's now at 275. And red hot the last 11 games. There's the strike, 1-1. Aaron, of course, one of the heroes of that Diamondback 9th inning comeback against Craig Kimbrell last night. Had the 2-out single. He scored the game-tying run on Danny Dorn's big double. What a hit that was, and what a moment for Danny. Got his first 2 major league RBIs on that 2-run double with 2 outs in the 9th against the best closer in the business. And for his reward, he was sent back to Reno.
Yeah, it can be a cruel game at times, but it was the necessary move to get J.C. Ramirez up here today, get that extra arm in the bullpen.
Get the roster spot from someplace. Jerko throws out Aaron Hill. Kashner's retired 4 straight. A 1-2-3 fourth. We go to the 5th. It's 2-0 Diamondbacks. Our Golden Glover down the left field line today, Doc Rosenblatt. And Bob, I just found this out while we were, getting soaked and freezing in Denver. Scott Geyer, Jeff Swanson, and Doc, they're fishing in Mexico.
Come on.
Look at this. How about that? What a trip that was, huh?
Now, I'd expect that out of Scott Geyer, but not Doc Rosenblatt. I thought he'd be taking fungos and working out and, practicing jumping off of that seat and pouncing on those foul balls. But no, he's down there fishing. Come on.
You and I are freezing cold, soaking wet in Denver. Geyer and Doc and Swanson are down there living like kings. Austin Hedges leads off the 5th. Dick Roberson's manning our right field corner today. Our Golden Glovers on this Mother's Day. There's Dick. Dick was not invited on the fishing trip.
Apparently not.
Well, I'd look into that if I were you, Dick.
Very select group that gets to go out on the minnow.
Just the cool kids. Oh boy, I'm pretty impressed so far with J.C. Ramirez. A big strikeout and ground ball to get out of a bases loaded 1-out mess, and he's ahead of Hedges here 0-2. Tuffy hangs on. Second strikeout for Ramirez. Hey fans, here's your chance to beat the heat. Today's word is mom. Log on to foxsportsarizona.com/beattheheat and enter that word for your chance to win a trip to San Diego for the July 4th weekend. Throughout May, we'll have a word of the day during every game, and once you see it, go to foxsportsarizona.com/beattheheat and enter that word. The password is mom.
Nice.
Andrew Kashner. Bounced in the hole. Aaron Hill snags it. They can't throw him out. What a play there by Aaron just to get to that ball. Give him some help.
High bouncer. Not only does he have to dive to his left, he has to go up way high to make that play. Lands, rolls over. Just couldn't quite get enough on that throw since he was kind of hanging in midair. His feet weren't on the ground. His rear end wasn't on the ground. He was airborne as he tried to throw that ball.
Goes as an infield single for Kashner. That's the third Padres hit. And here's the leadoff man, Corey Spangenberg. Spangenberg 0 for 2. He has struck out twice. Shows bunt. Pops it up off the plate.
When the D-backs win, you win at Papa John's. The day after every Diamondbacks win, you get 50% off your regular menu price online order at Papa John's. Enter promo code DBACKS50 at papajohns.com.
This is inside at 95. It's a ball and a strike. Spangenberg, former first-round pick, the 10th overall pick, in fact, in the draft 4 years ago. Drafted 3 spots after the Diamondbacks took Archie Bradley. Had a big year at Double-A last year. Hit .331 at San Antonio in the Texas League. First base. Goldie can't find it. They'll have no play on Kashner, but they get the out at first.
Possibly a double play ball if Goldie's able to come up with it cleanly, but it rattles around his glove and drops right next to the bag, making that an easy put out at first base, but no chance to get the lead runner, Andrew Kashner.
So he's at second with 2 down now for Abraham Almonte. What a day to be out there. Look at that. Just gorgeous. 3 more games against the Nationals coming up on this homestand. Matt Williams Ball Club will be in here tomorrow. dbacks.com/tickets. Get a look at Bryce Harper, who's hitting like 3 homers a day these days.
6 in the last 3 games. Is that what it is? Something like that. Just absolutely going crazy.
And they're all like in the 3rd deck. Almonte 0 for 2. So the Nats and Matty will be in here tomorrow. Have the first 2 games of that series here for you on Fox Sports Arizona. After that, we are off to Philadelphia and then Miami. So it's going to be an extended look here at the National League East after this series.
I've been given the updated numbers for Bryce Harper in his last 4 games. 6 homers, 13 runs driven in, 10 hits.
And the Nationals, who had a disappointing start, now 2 over 500, 3.5 back of those New York Mets. It's funny, for a while the Mets couldn't lose a game. They were on a roll, won like 9-10 in a row. And then the Houston Astros went on a whole long 10-game winning streak. Now the team that's red hot, the Minnesota Twins. Twins are at Cleveland, where they lost 8-2 though today. They've been on a roll lately. The Mets, the Astros, the Twins, changing fortunes here all over the major leagues. Almonte hits it to Pennington at second, and Ramirez strands the infield single. Diamondbacks lead the Padres 2-0.
Baseball history brought to you by Geico right here at Bank One Ballpark, now Chase Field. Luis Gonzalez hit 3 home runs in the first 4 innings of a ball game against the Mets. Took James Baldwin deep in the first. Once again, he took him deep in the third. Diamondbacks batted around, and Gonzo came up to lead off the 4th inning and homered again, this time off of Dan Wheeler. 12-8 victory over the Mets. Casey Daigle got the win in that ball game.
Diamondbacks lead this one 2-0 as we start the bottom of the 5th against Andrew Cashner, who's retired 4 straight since the A.J. Pollock homer. And Cliff Pennington will lead it off. D-backs with just 2 base hits, both home runs. Aaron Hill a solo shot, A.J. Pollock as well. The 3rd of the year for each player, and it's 0-1 on Pennington, who struck out his first time. Two balls and a strike. Diamondbacks faced Andrew Cashner at Petco Park earlier this year. That was April 13th. He had 9 strikeouts in that game, went 6 innings. And he did not go. It's Greg Gibson down there. Cashner in that ball game, 9 Ks in 6, gave up 4 runs, but none were earned. And he wound up with a loss. It was an 8-4 Diamondback win. Rolled to Jerko at second. We had a clarification on the Will Myers base running play. Let's take another look now. It was ruled obstruction. No error has been ruled by the official score on obstruction. Now it's the umpire's job here to protect the runner. They decided Myers would not have made it to third base.
I think unless the ball was dropped on the cutoff relay right there, he was a dead duck at third base. Felt that he was at second base. He had already acquired second base, but they didn't think he was going to make it to third base.
Now, in terms of the scoring, it's interesting because obstruction was ruled. The score does have the option to give an error to Nick Ahmed. But since no extra base was awarded, they decided not to do that. And so that's the way that went down. 1-1 on Tuffy, who struck out his first time.
Ball hit in the dirt off of Austin Hedges' glove, popped straight up in the air, and instincts took over, and Tuffy grabbed it.
It's an 8. 70 pitches down for Cashner, 45 strikes. '94. Consistent mid-90s from Andrew Cashner. He'll get that all day long. Here's the thing about J.C. Ramirez, called up to give them some length in that bullpen. He's going to have to hit here in the 5th inning to keep going. The Diamondbacks certainly ran through their bullpen last night, used 7 pitchers, 6 relievers. Used 5 relief pitchers on Friday, so bullpen a little tired right now. They need some innings out of J.C. Ramirez. 2-2 to Tuffy. It's full. I bet Andrew Cashner is tired of pitching and looking up and seeing a 0 on the scoreboard. We talked about that earlier, Bob. They just do not score any runs for this guy. And much of his poor record this season has to do with run support. Which is odd considering you're pitching for a team that's leading the National League in runs scored. But over his last 5 starts, Cashner has an ERA of 2.25. But in those 5 starts, the Padres have scored a total of 11 runs. So he's been terrific, but he's 1-5 on the year. Popped up. Let's see if Hedges can get this one near the on-deck circle. He's got it. That's the second out.
Hey, fans, follow the Diamondbacks all season long with MLB.com At Bat, the #1 app for live baseball. At Bat is up to the moment at any moment with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, StatCast, and more. Get MLB.com At Bat for your smartphone or tablet.
2 down for Nick Ahmed. Ramirez, the pitcher, is on deck. There's the strike, 0-1.
A big unit in the house today. He had a stretch of games back in '99 where he got very little offensive support. It was no hit 1 start, the next start 1 hit, next start 2 hits, next start 3 hits. The offense just wasn't doing it for him.
High to shortstop. Amarista throws him out, and Cashner has retired 7 straight. Diamondbacks have a 2-0 lead. Arizona is brought to you in part by Cox Gigablast. How will you live the gig life? By Lone Butte Casino. You're in for more winning moments at Lone Butte Casino. And by Jack in the Box. Jack's hottest sandwich is back. Head to Jack in the Box for Jack's Blazing Chicken Sandwich. The Pink Bats here on Mother's Day. Ballparks all over the country. Louisville Slugger dipped those bats in the pink paint. A lot of guys don't use them, BB, because they say they can feel the extra weight of that pink paint on them.
Yeah, well, you know, ball players are very particular about their equipment, and when you make your living swinging a bat, you can tell the difference in like a half of an ounce or even less than that.
Ted Williams using a postal service scale to measure his bats in the Fenway Park clubhouse. Will Myers 0 for 1. He walked his last time. So far, so good from J.C. Ramirez. He's looked really good out there, throwing hard. He's got 2 strikeouts. There's a pink bat. And Justin Upton on deck. Ramirez called up from Reno to give the Diamondbacks some innings in this ball game, and he has answered the call. He's given up 1 strange infield single to Andrew Kashner, and that's been it. 2 strikeouts. Myers gets it up in the air. An easy play for Trumbo. J.C. Ramirez, mentioned this, did not pitch in the big leagues last year. In fact, his only previous major league experience, 18 games with the Phillies 2 seasons ago, all in relief. It didn't go all that well. He was 0-1. The ERA was 7.5. Gave up 30 hits in 24 innings, 6 home runs, and walked almost as many as he struck out. But he has been terrific for Phil Nevin at Reno this year. And he's looked very impressive here this afternoon. Oliver Perez starts throwing now in the Sanderson Ford bullpen. Justin Upton looks at strike 1. Upton has struck out and singled, 1 for 2. He's got 4 hits in the series, including a double and a home run. That's Yvonne Upton. Good Mother's Day when you have your 2 sons playing on the same team.
Yeah, it makes it a lot easier. You don't have to pick one, or which one's your favorite. They're both in the house.
And Justin strikes out. Looked a little more like Melvin on that one. 3rd strikeout for Ramirez. 2 down.
Well, Ramirez obviously with the big fastball, but has shown a really good, I don't know whether that's a cutter or a little slider, but he's throwing it hard, 88 to 90 miles per hour with some movement away from the right-handed hitters.
The baby slider. 2 down for Venable now. He's been aboard twice, a single and a walk. Well, Will Venable just could not buy a base hit this year, but he's come into this series and you can't get the guy out. Nick Ahmed, long throw. Got him. No. Oh, Chad Fairchild thought about it for a second, gave a little bit of a pause there, and signaled safe. Glenn Sherlock on the phone with Alan Campbell.
Oh, Nick took a little extra time to wind up and fire that ball across the diamond. Yeah.
Good call down there by Chad Fairchild. He got it right.
At white second baseman, Chet Jerko.
Maybe the difference right there is the fact Venable hit the very front edge of the base over there. Yeah, Nick took a couple of extra steps to wind up and fire that one across, and Venable runs extremely well out of that left-handed batter's box.
99% of the time, the first base umpire in that play, when he has that long pause, will ring the guy up just for dramatic effect. But that time, Fairchild came safe.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I thought he was winding up to give his best out call down there at first. They like to do that sometimes, especially the 3rd out of an inning, but got the safe sign instead.
Jerko 0 for 2. He has struck out twice. Venable aboard now for the 3rd time in 3 at-bats, and there he goes. The throw from Tuffy. Not in time. Will Venable, his first stolen base of the year.
We mentioned it earlier. The Padres have been aggressive on the bases in this series, and especially with 2 outs, try to get that guy into scoring position and maybe steal a run here before the 3rd out of the inning. Picked a good pitch to run on that slider that time, as close to an off-speed pitch as Ramirez throws.
Conference time at the mound. Jerko up there with a count of 1 ball and no strikes. J.C. Ramirez. Jerko's bat at long last for the Padres, showing some signs of life here in May. And a pair of hits last night. He's only had 20 plate appearances for the month, but he's hitting nearly .370 in May. 3 doubles, a homer. He's driven in 4, and he's ahead here 2-0. Bird just landed in the booth. Yep, there he goes.
I didn't know what you were pointing at. He was hiding behind the monitor.
I'm trying not to say it on camera. Like, BB, there's a bird on the monitor. It's like Washington when he went by with the fish. Yeah, there he is. There's my new friend. He's over there bothering Mark Grant right now.
I think it's probably the other way around.
Yeah, it's more the right.
Bothering the bird, yeah.
Nature and so forth. 3-1. Belted to center. A.J. Pollock won't get there. It's off the base of the wall. Venable will score. And Jed Jerko has an RBI double. It's a 2-1 ball game. That's the 6th double of the year for Jerko. And he's starting to hit the ball hard again for the Padres.
Struck out his first 2 at-bats of this ball game. First one was a called 3rd strike from Daniel Hudson. Then he had an at-bat where he didn't swing at a pitch in the strike zone, but squares this one up against Ramirez. Hit extremely hard straight over the head of A.J. Pollock out there in center with a little bit of fading action.
The question now is Ramirez starting to fade. He got 2 outs in the 6th, but a single by Venable and a long double by Jerko have cut the lead in half, and Alexi Amarista steps in.
Well, right now Ramirez is exactly at his career high in innings pitched, 2 1/3. He did it 2 times in his career.
They're going to walk Amarista with Hedges, the rookie, on deck. They've had the left-hander Oliver Perez warming up in the bullpen. Hedges so far 0 for 2. He struck out his last time. Amarista got the lefty ready. Amarista's 0 for 2. He's 1 for 13 in the series. Hasn't really hit at all this month. Last 16 games he's batting only .145. But with first base open and 2 outs, they'll give him the free pass. Mike Harkey.
A big out to get right here, obviously, with the runner in scoring position and 2 outs in the inning. The pitcher spot is due to lead off in the bottom half of the 6th, and you'd really like to get Ramirez through this inning and pick your pinch hitter for that 9 spot. If he has to go get him in this inning, it would probably require a double switch, depending on how many innings you want to get out of Oliver Perez.
Well, Hedges has never hit a ton in the minor leagues. He was just called up about a week ago. He played all of last year at AA San Antonio. Over 100 games, he hit just .225. He had been with AAA El Paso this year, and suddenly, I don't know if this is a Coast League thing or not, but he was hitting 21 games at El Paso. He had .324. Venable has scored the first run for the Padres here in the inning on the Jerko double. Jerko at second, Amarista at first, and first pitch swinging is Hedges. That's in the seats and out of play. All this after Ramirez got Myers to fly out up to the strikeout to start the inning. Well, Ramirez got out of a bases loaded 1-out mess in the 4th when he came into the ball game. 2 on, 2 out here in a 1-run game. Base hit. They will stop Jerko at third. Glenn Hoffman puts the brakes on. Peralta gets it back in quickly, and the Padres have the bases loaded. And the pitcher Cashner coming up.
Pitcher Andrew Cashner.
A little bit of a lower throw from David. They might have been able to get Jerko at third base. He took a big aggressive turn before finally slamming on the brakes, but the throw was too high for Aaron Hill to cut off and flip back to Nick Ahmed covering third base.
Just the second big league hit for Austin Hedges. Bases loaded, 2 outs for Cashner, the pitcher. Hard to short. Ahmed smothers it. And they go the short way for the force on Hedges. And once again, J.C. Ramirez, for the second time in the ball game, leaves the bases loaded. What's next? Brought to you by CenturyLink. A.J. Pollock, who homered in the 3rd. He's coming up in the home half of the 6th. Diamondbacks have a 2-1 lead.
There, but Brandon Webb, as we look ahead to the post-game show, I think topic number 1 will be Daniel Hudson. Quickly, your take on what you saw.
No doubt. He came out throwing strikes, just throwing bullets. 95, 96 mile-an-hour fastballs on the black. Had a great changeup, 5 strikeouts. Did a great job.
But I think we know when the wheels started to fall off,
we did.
so we'll show you that on the post-game show. But Steve and Bob, obviously lots of baseball left. We'll send it back to you.
Thank you, guys. And part of the Houdini act on the part of J.C. Ramirez was the fact that Bud Black chose not to pinch hit for Andrew Cashner there in a 1-run ball game with the bases loaded.
Yeah, had some weapons on the bench. Matt Kemp not in the starting lineup today. Jan Hervey Solarte done a nice job as a pinch hitter for the Padres, but chose to leave his starting pitcher in there, Andrew Cashner, to take the at-bat.
Well, Chip Hale is hitting for his pitcher here. Yasmani Tomas leads off the 6th against Cashner, who's retired the last 7 he's faced. So Tomas hits for Ramirez here. Yasmani Tomas, 302, 7 RBIs. He's got 3 hits in the series, but all 3 hits came in Thursday's big win in the series opener. In there for another called strike. Tomas has looked at a lot of called strike 3s lately. And that's the 5th strikeout for Andrew Cashner.
There have been a few at-bats where it looks like Yasmani Tomas predetermines, I'm going to swing at this pitch, I'm going to take the next pitch, then I'm going to swing at the pitch after that. Ends up taking a called strike on a fastball outer third, mid-thighs.
Here's A.J., who homered his last time up. Base hit by a diving Amarista. That's the third Diamondback hit. Pollock has 2 of them, a one-out single here in the 6th.
Well struck. I mentioned it in last night's ball game. Starting in that series in Colorado, A.J. Pollock has hit the ball as hard as anybody on the Diamondbacks roster, getting the barrel to the ball with great consistency.
Mark Trumbo 0 for 2. By the way, we have some of the pitching matchups for the next series against the Nationals, and we're getting the toughies here, BB.
Yeah, sharp end of the stick.
Scherzer on Monday, Strasburg Tuesday, Gio Gonzalez Wednesday afternoon. Cole Mentor, De La Rosa, Hellickson for the Diamondbacks. So it's Coley and Scherzer here Monday night. Strasburg and De La Rosa Tuesday. That's one to watch. Hellickson and Gonzalez Wednesday on getaway day. That's in the seats.
Take your breaks where you can get them. We talked about it at that Dodger series. We missed Kershaw and Greinke and all the other Dodger pitchers that are on the disabled list, but got swept by the bottom of their rotation.
You never know.
You never know.
Kershaw, by the way, pitching right now in snow-covered Colorado. Dodgers and Rockies 5-5 in the 5th. 0-1 to Trumbo. Base hit. Drops it into the gap in left center field, and A.J.'s in at third. That one just died softly out there in the gap, allowing Pollock to get to third with no problem. They're in the corners with 1 out for Goldie.
A.J. Pollock, the runner over there at first base, got a good read, saw the ball was going to be over the head of Amarista, and Justin Upton a little tentative coming after that ball in the gap in left center, and A.J. did not hesitate. Right there, he turns on the afterburners and easily makes it onto third base.
Pollock at third, Trumbo at first. Paul Goldschmidt has struck out and popped up 0 for 2. Goldie last night on base 5 times, a single, 4 bases on balls. He's hit safely in 4 straight. And the numbers for Goldie last 11 games are just off the hook or the chain or the whole thing. He's hitting just under 470 last 11 games with 4 homers and 11 RBIs. Two 2-0. .345 with runners in scoring position this year. 20 RBIs. Looks at strike 1.
And in the midst of that streak you're talking about for Paul Goldschmidt, he had an 0 for 5 with 4 strikeouts.
It's amazing, isn't it? Think about what the numbers might have been at Coors Field of all places,
yeah.
too. Two and two. Cashner about to throw his 90th pitch of the ball game. Peralta on deck. On the ground to Amarista. Jerko. And the Padres get a big double play ball there, and Cashner gets off the hook. That ends the 6th. Diamondbacks holding a 2-1 lead.
There, and a special Happy Mother's Day to my mother.
Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, and a very special Happy Mother's Day to my mom, Debbie.
Feliz Día de las Madres para todas las madres, en especial a mi mamá. Un beso, te quiero mucho y disfruten en su día.
Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there in D-Back Nation. Sunday Diamondbacks baseball brought to you by Sanderson Ford. Some of the messages from the Diamondbacks players that they're playing on the DBTV board here at the ballpark. As we start the 7th inning, a good ball game for you. Diamondbacks lead the Padres 2-1, and out of the Sanderson Ford bullpen, the left-hander Oliver Perez, his 17th appearance this year.
And the switch to a left-handed pitcher brings on a pinch hitter for Bud Black at the top of the order here, I believe.
Will Middlebrooks will hit for Spangenberg. Middlebrooks just 191. He drew a walk in last night's ball game, his only plate appearance of the series, and he is really scuffling right now, stuck in a 2 for 32. Perez is ahead, no ball and no balls and 2 strikes. Three years ago, looked like the Red Sox had their future third baseman with Will Middlebrooks. He was a 23-year-old rookie, hit .288, 15 homers. He was called up when Kevin Youkilis got hurt that May. 9 hits in his first 5 games, including 3 home runs. The next year, however, Middlebrooks belted 17 homers, but the average dropped to under .230. Then last year he hit about .190. And now he's in San Diego as something of a reclamation project, trying to get his career back on track at the age of 26. One and 2. Long line for churro dogs here. Got to get Mom a churro dog.
A couple of them.
Oh, look at that. Old school. Candy apple. Caramel apple. He did not go, says Chad Fairchild down there.
Like it got a bite of Tuffy Gosowich. He walks out to the mound there just to stall for a little bit of time under the guise of what pitch do you want to throw next. But I think that one might have got a little bit of Tuffy's throwing hand as he went down to block it.
Two and 2 on Will Middlebrooks. This is there. It's full 3-2. Middlebrooks became expendable in Boston when the Red Sox gave Kung Fu Panda $95 million to play his position, third base. Almonte on deck. Bounced over the head of Perez. Pennington claims it up, 1 away.
Hey fans, we invite you to play Kachinko by signing up at one of the 16 interactive kiosks right here at Chase Field during any Diamondbacks regular season home game.
Well, Abraham Almonte, the switch hitter, will bat from the right-hand side against Oliver Perez. Baxter's mom is here. That's always nice to see. Boy, she has really aged well.
She has.
I think she's had some work done, frankly, but she still looks great. Excuse me, sir. I need the seat from my mom. There you go. Almonte 0 for 3. Class of 2015.
Can you tell us when we're live?
You're live right now, ma'am. You are on the air. It's always good to know when you're on and when you're not. You know, wait for the cue and so forth.
I've always found it helpful.
Things can happen.
When you're live and when you're on tape.
What do you mean we're on? Oops. Almonte, a switch hitter, just about equal from both sides of the plate for his career. This is not a DVR. This is a live broadcast. But if you're watching it on your DVR, boy, you're going to be confused. Bunts it back to the mound. Perez is on it. Makes a nice play there to throw him out. Oliver Perez.
Well, once you release that pitch, you become a defender, and Oli Perez gets off the mound quickly, turns his back to his target, fires a strike onto Goldie for the easy out at first base. That was a pretty good bunt right there by Almonte, but Perez made a nice play.
And he'll go out in style. Chip Hale will bring in the right-hander to face Will Myers. Pitching change in a 2-1 ball game. We'll take a break. On Fox Sports 1 returns with a doubleheader of division rivalries. The Braves take on the Marlins. And then it's the Pirates and the Cubs. Coverage begins at 10 a.m. on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go.
Shh, don't scare the fish. I believe those are the lagoons over at the Phoenix Zoo. I've fished over there before.
Can you? Is that legal?
Yeah, sure it is. I didn't catch anything.
Evan Marshall on with 2 outs in the 7th to work to Will Myers. Myers 0 for 2. He walked back in the 4th. It's a big third out to get in this inning in a 2-1 ball game. Myers has had a big series. 7 hits in 16 at bats. 3 doubles and a home run. Off speed pitch gets him. It's 0-1. Diamondbacks today trying to ham and egg it with that bullpen. Daniel Hudson, J.C. Ramirez, Oliver Perez, now Evan Marshall. That's in there for a strike, 1-2. That one is almost in the press box. A ball and 2 strikes to Will Myers. To third, Aaron Hill. Oliver Perez and Evan Marshall get 3 outs. We stretch at Chase Field. The Diamondbacks lead the Padres 2-1. Chase Field, our Gila River game summary. Diamondbacks have been out hit 6-4 by the Padres, but they lead it 2-1. 2 of the Diamondbacks hits are Chaz Roberts' air conditioning cool plays of the game. Solo homers, Aaron Hill in the 5th and A.J. Pollock, Aaron Hill in the 2nd, pardon me, and A.J. Pollock in the 3rd.
Couple of at-bats with instant offense right there. 2 solo home runs. That 1-run lead is going to have to be held up by the bullpen today after Daniel Hudson did a fine job in his start. Only went 3 1/3. However, you knew it was going to be a bullpen day. In college, they call it a staff Sunday. After playing a Friday night game and sometimes a doubleheader on Sunday, we used to call it Johnny Holstaff. They need everybody to get through a game like today.
Aaron Hill is 3rd of the year with 1 out in the 2nd. A.J. Pollock's 3rd of the year with 2 outs in the 3rd. That's been all the Diamondbacks scoring against Andrew Cashman. He's back out there for the 7th, and David Peralta 0 for 2 leads it off. We're still counting down because we had God Bless America between the top and bottom of the 7th inning here. The breaks are timed, as we know, with part of the new pace of game rules. We were a little too efficient that time. So now we count down to 20 seconds and we can begin. Peralta, Hill, Pennington 4, 5, and 6 in the Arizona 7th. And the shift is on for David. Three infielders on the right-hand side. Almaris to the shortstop. You can see him right in the middle of your screen near the second base bag. 2-0. Cashner over 90 pitches. Bullpen is quiet for the Padres. That's in there for a strike. Center field, Venable ranging over. Runs it down in the shadows out there for the first out. And now Dale Thayer started warming up with the Padre bullpen. He's just begun throwing a moment ago. Saw him last night. He worked 1 inning through 18 pitches. Aaron Hill, 1 for 2, his 3rd home run of the year back in the 2nd. Aaron Hill down 0-2. Boy, over his last 10 games, Aaron's bat has really come alive here. Hitting better than .410. 2 homers and 6 RBIs. Another home run today. He's raised his batting average for the year by more than 100 points over his last 10 games. He's up to 271 now. Locks him up inside, but it's ball 2. Along the right field line, Myers is out there. Almonte running in. It's in the seats. Got all his D-backs gear on. Looks good. I like those hats. Those are cool hats. The gray with a red bill there. That looks sharp.
I even like the way he accessorizes with the red shades. That's a nice look.
Accessorizing, very important. 100th pitch from Cashner on the way, and he strikes out Aaron Hill. So 2 down, and on this Mother's Day, here's Cliff Pennington.
To my mom, I mean, I love you. You helped me and my sister be able to do anything we wanted. Kept all our dreams alive. Anything we wanted to do, you supported us. And to my wife, the best mom my kids could ever have, and I love you. And to all the other moms out there, happy Mother's Day.
Well done, Cliff. Pride of Corpus Christi, Texas gets it high in the air to deep center field. Venable has room, though, fighting that sun. And he's got it. Cashner is through 7. You can accessorize right here at the ballpark. Get that cap that looks so good. 8th inning coming up. Diamondbacks lead it 2-1. of a nice Sunday acoustic feel to our Gig Life high-speed highlights presented by Cox on this Mother's Day. Mom paid for the seats. You rock. All moms rock today on this Mother's Day. Eighth inning, Justin Upton leads it off for the Padres against Evan Marshall. Upton, Venable, Jerko, 4, 5, and 6, the heart of the order here in the San Diego eighth. Little camera shy, that's all. Upton singled in the fourth. He has struck out twice, 1 for 3. Justin Upton, the contract set to run out after this season. 6 years, $51 million. He signed with the Diamondbacks. He'll be a free agent next year. Marshall's ahead, a ball and 2 strikes, 94 right by him there. Some big outs to get for Evan in this 8th inning. We were talking about this last night. While it was a pitcher's duel, Diamondbacks need to win one of these types of games, a 2-1 game, a 3-2 game. This would be a big one here on Mom's Day. Salvage a split of the 4-game set before Matt Williams Nationals come in here for 3 starting tomorrow. Max Scherzer pitches Monday, Steven Strasburg Tuesday, Gio Gonzalez Wednesday. It's a tall order. 2-2 to Upton. Base hit. Tying runs aboard.
Center fielder Will Venable.
Well, it's a 1-run game in the 8th. Upton is a perfect 7 for 7 in his stolen base attempts this year. You've got the hot-hitting Will Venable up there. Venable 2 singles and a walk today.
We'll see how aggressive Bud Black wants to play this particular situation. Venable, for me, is a dead pull hitter. I think they want to leave him that hole on the right side of the infield, at least till he gets a couple of strikes on him in this at-bat.
Venable in this series, 6 for 12 with a triple and a home run. This was the home run for Will Venable off Jeremy Hellickson. They're going to keep him as close to that first base bag as they can. Ball 1. Dropped over the mound. Pennington at second. They'll get 1.
Now that's a danger in trying to step into the baseline and make the play yourself. That time Upton got enough of Cliff Pennington that he wasn't able to complete the relay onto first base. Perfectly legal. I mean, if a fielder steps into your baseline, even if he has the ball, you're allowed to take a shot at him.
When he doesn't have the ball, that's obstruction. We had that discussion earlier. Jed Jerko, an RBI double his last time up, belted it to deep center field off the wall back there. Bud Black says the things he's seen more recently from Jed Jerko, better at bats. The numbers certainly bear that out. And those at bats come when Jerko seems to be laying off a little bit on the ball down and away, laying off the high fastball. The quality of the at bats, Bud Black says, have been better. The results certainly have. Venable holds at first. That one's in there for strike one.
We had to range a little bit that time to catch that pickoff throw as Venable went back in with a head first slide.
Venable singled and stole a base back in the 6th. His first steal of the year. Runner holds. That one misses. 2 balls and a strike. The Padres are here.
Padre and a Madre. This is what speed on the bases will do. A couple of pickoff throws to first. Marshall using the slide step from time to time, trying to unload the ball quickly if Venable does attempt to steal.
He holds. Jerko fouls it off, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. And this is where you can get Jerko with 2 strikes to expand the zone. Better at bats lately, regardless. He is a free swinger up there.
He proved that against J.C. Ramirez. Ramirez just came into the ballgame to face him back in that 4th inning and struck him out on a fastball up around his neck.
On a 3-2 pitch. 2-2 from Marshall is in the dirt, and it's full. Alexi Amarista on deck. Base hit. 2 singles in the inning against Evan Marshall. 2 on, 1 out now. And Amarista will hit. Enrique Burgos throwing in the Sanderson Ford bullpen for the Diamondbacks. Jerko 2 for 4 now. Conference time at the mound. Alexi Amarista. Flying out in the 2nd, grounded out in the 4th, was intentionally walked his last time up. Venable is the runner at 2nd. He's the tying run. Jerko the go-ahead run at 1st, 1 out, and Amarista is the hitter. This is the guy they call the Little Ninja. Alexi Amarista, 5'6", 150 up there. The bat is almost as tall as he is. Double play ball here. Pennington, Ahmed, and they roll it. Evan Marshall keeps it a 1-run game. The double play ball ends the top of the 8th. Diamondbacks hold a 2-1 lead.
Always don't forget, Diamondbacks Live coming up right after this game. And Brandon, we said it on the pregame show. Bob just alluded to it. It's going to take a village to put this game together for the bullpen, but the bullpen is coming up big, aren't they?
They knew how they were going to have to do it, and they've been playing it well. The relievers have been doing an excellent job coming in. Just a hiccup there in the 6th inning, that's it.
We'll break it down on the postgame show. Before we go back to the booth, though, let's go to Jody Jackson, who's with some of the most important women in Tuffy Kozowic's family. Jody, take it away on this Mother's Day.
That's right, Todd. Thanks so much. I'm alongside Kylan, Tuffy's wife, and his mom, Nancy, and his grandmother is over here, Nancy's mom, Sue Harlan, as well. And Nancy, you and I were talking, and just to see Tuffy out here, hometown major league team, all that he's been through, almost 9 years in the minors, and he's on this coast now playing. What does it mean to you on this Mother's Day to be here watching him?
Well, it's difficult to describe, and it's actually difficult to watch him and see that he's actually out there. And every time I see him on TV, I just have to say, that's my boy. You know, I tell people often, and I told somebody that today, I have the 2 best sons in the whole world. So it's very special. We'll be with Chip and his family for dinner after this. So it's very special to have him here with us.
You know, you spent a lot of time trying to see him when he was with the Phillies organization, but, you know, obviously now being here and now this year starting a lot of these games. What was he like as a kid growing up? We know the name Tuffy came because he was trying to break out of the crib, right? But then we played ball that way too, right?
Yeah, his dad gave him the name Tuffy when he was actually about 3 weeks old, and it stuck ever since. He kind of lived up to it. He did break his crib at about a year old, but he is. Sorry.
That's perfect.
That's my boy. That's my boy.
Did you have a feeling that was going to happen?
Well, you know, he has a way of doing that. You know, growing up, I will say one thing about Tuffy. He and I had this conversation probably 5 years ago, and I said to him, Tuffy, have you and I ever had a fight? And he said to me, Mom, I know for a fact I have never yelled at you, and that's the truth. Never he nor his brother have ever had a disagreement, a verbal disagreement with me, so I couldn't be more proud of either of them.
There's a lot of love there. How were you feeling the other night when he went 3 for 4 with the 3 doubles?
Oh my goodness, it was exciting, but you know what? I'm not surprised. I know he's got it in him, so I'm not surprised at all. He'll be there.
Well, that's a great Mother's Day present right there on the field today. Nancy, thank you so much. Happy Mother's Day to you and to Sue as well. Kylan, of course, good to see you as always. All right, guys, we'll send it back to you.
Thank you, Jody. A double for Mom. Nicely done. Couldn't have timed that any better, BB.
Jody, go find the Ahmed family quickly.
Amanda's down there somewhere. Here's Nick. Big insurance run out there now. Second base, nobody out. Nick 0 for 2 so far. New pitcher for the Padres, Dale Thayer, the right-hander. We saw him last night. He worked a scoreless inning. And he has worked scoreless appearances in 10 of his 13 outings so far this year. Ender Inciarte is in the on-deck circle. He would hit for Marshall, the pitcher. Ahmed squares to bunt, gets it down. It's a good one. Middlebrook's in there at third now, throws him out, but Tuffy moves up 90 feet.
Well, that has to feel good for Nick Ahmed. It's been a rough year offensively for him, and the opportunity to contribute with a sacrifice bunt right here, and he executed perfectly. Deadened that ball on the left side of the field, forced that third baseman to come in and make the play, allowing Tuffy to advance on to third.
Ender Inciarte. Ender batting .304. He's had a quiet series, 2 for 12 against the Padres with 4 strikeouts. Conference time for San Diego now. Padres bullpen is busy down there. Diamondbacks as well. Here comes Bud Black. A conversation now with the plate umpire Marvin Hudson. After a long conference at the mound, seems like they were buying time for their left-hander Garces, who just sprung into action down there. Now he's going to come in. He's only been warming up for a minute or two. And they will indeed go to the left-hander. Diamondbacks trying to tack on a run here in the eighth. Back after this. Giveaways coming up here at Chase Field. Sunday, May 24th, the D-backs Fedora Cap, courtesy of Gila River Casinos. Here's a must-have item. Saturday, June 6th, Hall of Famer Tony La Russa has a bobblehead day, courtesy of Chevrolet. Then on Saturday, June the 20th, it's the D-backs backpack. Tickets available for all giveaway games right now at dbacks.com. Well, left-hander Frank Garces has been warming up, it seems, in every game in this series, but he makes his first appearance here on Sunday. 6 of his 7 outings this year have been scoreless. Just called up from AAA El Paso about a week ago, and he's in there with Ender Inciarte hitting for the pitcher, and Tuffy Gozawish at third. The numbers on Garces this year: 1.35 ERA.
Fastball, curveball, changeup combination from Garces. Average fastball right around 92 miles per hour.
Ender, that is a foul ball. Just missed down there, says Chad Fairchild.
Hanging breaking ball pulled it right down that first baseline. With the infield playing in, Will Myers had no chance to make a play on that
one. 1-1. Got the mound out there fully encased in shadow. The left-hand batter's box still in sunlight for Ender, who's down a ball and 2 strikes.
It's like a scene from Independence Day.
Big spaceship overhead. Infield in for the Padres, the 1-2 pitch. He did not go. Greg Gibson down there. Austin Hedges went to the wrong base for the appeal. His first week in the big leagues, 2-2.
Took a little off that breaking ball, a little bit slower. Dropping out of the strike zone low and away. Ender able to check a swing.
Misses. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Now keep in mind, the visibility is not great for the hitter, but it's not great for the umpire either. He's out there looking at the bright batter's eye in the background, the shade on the mound, bright sun around home plate.
Marvin Hudson back there. Right at that funky time of day. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here it is. Just got a piece to stay alive.
Of course, the catcher has a slight advantage in this situation because he knows what pitch is coming. The batter and the umpire have no idea.
So if he goes away, she'll let off the inning with a double off of Thayer. Nick Ahmed, a sacrifice bunt, moved him along. He's at third with 1 out, 3 balls, 2 strikes to Ender Inciarte. Ball 4. First walk issued by Padres pitchers today.
Pretty good at bat right there by Ender Inciarte against a tough lefty he hasn't seen much of. A lot of breaking pitches from Garces, and ultimately Ender draws the base on balls.
Bud Black is going to make a double switch here. A.J. Pollock, Mark Trumbo, Paul Goldschmidt, 3 righties coming up, so he's going to have to get the lefty Garces out of there. And we'll have a change defensively as well as Solarte comes into the ball game. We'll sort it all out when we come back. A full night of NBA and NHL playoff action. You'll see that LeBron buzzer beater. Plus all the highlights from today's Major League games. Fox Sports Live tonight, 8 o'clock on both Fox Sports 1 and right here on Fox Sports Arizona. Diamondbacks with a 2-1 lead and threatening here in the home half of the 8th. New pitcher for the Padres, the righty Brandon Maurer. Worked a scoreless inning last night. 8 of his last 10 appearances, in fact, have been scoreless.
And did give up a hit and a walk in his inning of work last night, but got a double play ball to avoid damage.
And Hervey Solarte takes over at shortstop. Well, Solarte's at third.
Yeah, I believe Middlebrooks
has moved over to shortstop. And so Solarte will bat 9th. Pitcher spot now 7th in the San Diego order. A.J. homered in the 3rd, singled in the 6th. He's 2 for 3. This one might stay foul ground, playable for Myers fighting that sun. And that's the 2nd out.
Looked kind of odd, but I think you're absolutely right. Will Myers played that ball off to the side to keep it out of the sun. Kind of made the over-the-shoulder catch in front of the Padres dugout on the first base side.
So with 2 on and 2 out, it's up to Mark Trumbo. trying to get some insurance runs home here. Trumbo singled his last time up, 1 for 3. In there for a strike. Oh, and 2. Addison Reed. Trying to get Addison an insurance run or 2 here. But Trumbo is down 0-2 with 2 outs. Gozawish is the runner at third and Ciarte at first. Backs have been trying to win one of these pitchers' duels all year long, trying to ham and egg it with a bullpen today. We've seen Daniel Hudson, J.C. Ramirez, Oliver Perez, Evan Marshall. And it'll be Addison Reed in the 9th. Roll to second base, an easy play for Jerko. And the Padres bullpen strands 2. 2-1 ball game. 9th inning coming up. Addison Reed coming in. Back after this. By your Valley Honda dealer, where you'll get more standard features for less money. CenturyLink, your link to what's next. And by Mix One, great taste, no face, available at local retailers. 9th inning on Mother's Day at Chase Field. Diamondbacks trying to win a pitcher's duel after they pieced together a staff today out of the bullpen. And here is the closer with a 2-1 lead. It's Addison Reed, his 10th appearance this year.
Leading off for San Diego.
We're going to immediately face a pinch hitter for Bud Black and the Padres. Derek Norris is going to take the at-bat rather than the youngster Austin Hedges.
Ender Ciarte stays in the ball game. He takes over in right field for Mark Trumbo. Derek Norris sitting .307 on the year with 2 homers. He has 4 hits in the series, 2 of them doubles. Norris has turned into something of a doubles machine here in his first season with San Diego after coming over from Oakland. The Cardinals' Matt Carpenter, the only player in baseball with more doubles this year than Derek Norris. At least now it's a fair fight in terms of the shadows out there. Virtually the entire infield, with the exception of Paul Goldschmidt at first base, are in the shadow. He's faced Reed 1 time with a homer. That's going to go in the seats behind the Padre dugout. Diamondback Live post-game show. Brandon Webb, Todd Walsh follows our ball game here on Fox Sports Arizona. As Addison Reed comes on to try and get these final 3 outs and salvage a split of the 4-game series before the Nationals come in here tomorrow night. Two and one to Norris. Center field, right at Pollock. Back it up, and he runs it down. Derek Norris barreled that one up to deep center field, but Pollock is there.
Going out of the shadows into the bright sunlight. Great running catch by A.J. going back near the wall out there in straightaway center field. Shadows into the sun as he makes the play right there. Nicely done.
One away for Yangervis Solarte. Looks at strike one. Solarte 297 with a pair of homers. He has hit safely in every game in this series, 4 for 14, including 2 doubles. Matt Kemp has come out in the on-deck circle. He'll be next. He'll hit for Middlebrooks. Reed ahead 0-2. Solarte, a switch hitter, batting nearly .340 from the left-hand side of the plate this year, including both his home runs. Diamondbacks trying to win a 2-1 game here. The fewest runs scored in a D-backs win this year, 4. They've done that one time. Only the D-backs and the Baltimore Orioles have not won a game with 3 runs or fewer this year. 1-2 on Solarte. Chase that one in the dirt. Goes the whistle, complete the strikeout. 2 down. And here comes Matt Kemp.
Good slider that time from Addison Reed. Started at the bottom of the strike zone, bounces it in the dirt. Solarte could not hold up.
Kemp will hit for Middlebrooks.
First pinch hit appearance of the season for Matt Kemp over the course of his long career. 7 for 46. That's a .152 batting average as a pinch hitter.
277 with 1 homer, 20 RBIs in 32 games. He was 0 for 5 last night. He has gone just 2 for 13 in the series. Strike one. Kemp, the Dodger, always tough on the D-backs, but Matt Kemp, the Padres, been a different story. 6 games against the Diamondbacks this year. Kemp has hit just 208. Roll to third. Aaron Hill has it. And the Diamondbacks win it. It's a 1-2-3-9 for Addison Reed, and they split the 4-game series. They finally won a pitcher's duel here, BB, and they did it really without a starting pitcher.
The fewest runs the Diamondbacks had scored in a win this year was 4, so really good to see a pitcher's battle go the way of the Diamondbacks.
They get out hit 9-5, but they win it 2-1. 2 of those 5 Diamondback hits, home runs. Aaron Hill is 3rd of the year coming in the 2nd inning, and A.J. Pollock's 3rd in the 3rd. And so they split the 4-game set with San Diego. Matt Williams and his Nationals are in here tomorrow night, but first, Let's review this one. Brandon Webb is out there in center field with Todd Walsh. Todd, it's time for Diamondbacks Live.
Indeed it is, Steve. Thank you very much. Brandon, just like Chip Hale drew